So today's topic is about the sacred flame of love, which is a part of the ascension teachings, which is a part of the ascension of humanity and our evolution towards becoming that perfected self, so to speak. So that state of perfection are the teachings of the Ascended Masters, and they are here to show us the way and the path to return back to source from this lineage, so to speak, because we all know there are plentiful of different paths towards source, and the Ascendant Masters are one particular lineage that humanity, has the opportunity to connect with, align themselves with these higher beings, because they are the portals and the gateways to show us what can be possible and what is possible and what we have forgotten as human beings that we are. So in one of the topics tonight, I would like to bring up to expose this highest aspect of love. And this highest aspect of love in its pure form of love is beyond perfection, but let's say it's perfected. It's the most perfect, purest form of divine energy. Yes, it's pure because this this love, this cosmic love, this divine love has no conditions touched upon it. It's core truth of what love is. Thus, this form of love is perfect. This perfected love is within our essence. It is found within us, and the way to expose and open ourselves to the perfected love, the Ascended Masters are here to allow us to attune to their vibration and allow us to give us the opportunity to meet in that resonance of perfected love. Now, this perfected love, it's like, how can we reach it? How can we become aware of it? How can we bring it into practice? Because it's not something that we should idealize or fantasize about, but what can we do to open ourselves to that perfected love? And one way that you can instantly practice is, if you you have some kind of memory of what love is to you, and many times, we experience, let's say, it is called when you fall in love. Yes, and this is just a little example, and we can also correct this falling in love, but there is some sense to it as well, because first of all, when you fall in love, and I'm not speaking just to a partner here, I'm speaking, you might fall in love with life. You might fall in love with a project that you're doing. You might fall in love with a lover. So it's just the feeling of when you fall in love with something. Yes. And in the midst of that, how open you are to everything. Yes, how open and inviting and allowing you are to everything else as well. And this, when I was like really contemplating and reflecting this word, even falling in love, because it's actually, you can say it's more like rising in love, isn't it? We like rise. We open ourselves to love, so we rise in love. But what I came to kind of reflect and see, this word falling in love can have an aspect of surrender in it. When you fall away, when you give away, that restricted self or limited self or lower self, you give away that. You give away what you stand in righteousness for. You give away for any differences of any kind. You just surrender that and you give yourself to love, isn't it? So this falling in love has a surrender aspect to it. When we let go and open ourselves up to love, it's like you're opening yourself up to the divine. You're opening yourself up to God. Yeah, so it's like falling in love, but at the same time, you're really rising. Yeah, you're surrendering, but rising in love. And this is also where this most purest form of love, which is this, divine love, which actually means pure. It's the most purest form in its essence. It's purity. And that pure form of love, we can experience it when we surrender, when we let go of any fears, of any protections, of that which you're trying to hide or keep. So this is why there is this great surrender, this great letting go of yourself, of that which is limiting, that which is veiling this divine love. Because divine love is within us all. It has nothing to do with your personality type. It has nothing to do with your culture or, how your upbringing was. It also has nothing to do with any traumas that you've experienced, if you've had a hard life or a good life. It really doesn't matter. Like divine love, the pure form of love, is for everyone. Because it is a part of you. You are that too. And so we have to see what limits us to be in that ultimate state of devotion, ultimate state of losing ourselves. And when that letting go, of what we hold, we keep, we hide, all these mechanisms of the mind, all the mechanisms of the ego, once they subside or soften up or not given so much power anymore, then this melting process happens, this grace, the divine grace uplifts us. And it opens up within us this recognition and realization that this purity is actually right here inside of you. It's right here in your core of your being, in the heart of hearts. It's right here. And so coming to this little exercise that you can bring into practice is, if you come back to this feeling of when you've fallen in love with something, maybe you've fallen in love with anything, right? It could be a person, it could be a job, it could be a selfless service, it could be anything. But then if you can remove that, if you can put that aside, if you remove the projection of where that love has been projected upon, yeah, because usually we feel love because of something. Yeah, you feel love because of this new partner in my life, or you feel love because of this retreat that I've been to, or there's a projection of where we project love to. But if you ignite that warmth and openness in your heart, and you remove the person, and you remove the narrative, and you remove the distractions, projections, ideas of it, and then just stay with the rawness of the essence of the purity of love, without understanding it or manipulating it or trying to fix something. And then it's where you're like peeling off all the distractions, coming to the essence of purity. So that purity, you know, it's in a way hiding because of all the layers that are placed upon it. And what is placed upon it is mainly your life experience, you as a child, how you were brought up, you know, all that you have received and all the memory of all your life up till now. It's all imprinted in your cells. It's a cellular memory. It's also in your nervous system. And all the conditionings and limited ways of what we adopted that we are, yeah, limited ways of how we contracted ourselves to really, you know, just recognize a certain fraction of that pure form of love. And so, you know, what we are actually doing is reversing the process, you know, reversing the process to the natural divine essence within us. It is not something we are adding. You know, the teachings of the Ascended Masters, you know, any other teachings are not adding on to get you somewhere. But what is being spoken out there in the world from these Ascended Masters and anyone in alignment to uplift humanity, it is a way to rewind and reverse, return back to your original natural essence. So as such, there are no teachings. It's not something new. It might seem new because this divine essence has been forgotten within us. So it might seem new, but as soon as you open yourself to that, as soon as your, you know, ego starts setting aside more and more, you know, you come to realize that it's actually, you know, it's natural and it's here and it's accessible to everyone, because it is within everyone, and it is a law of the one consciousness. You know, so how can it be separate or different, since it is the one consciousness? And so the only difference comes through the ego and comes through this personality type, this worldview that we envision to view life and the world from our own specific limited focus and attention. That limited view is what creates our reality. And this is why opening our consciousness, what is actually happening is we are expanding the capacity to have a wider worldview, to go even beyond the view of the world into a galactic view, universal view, into a divine view, and ultimately into the God view. So your focus and attention continues to expand, because actually that is who you are. There is this multi-dimensional being that is all, birthed out from source itself. So there is a lot, for you to explore, but it's mainly reclaiming, or else you could say your conscious awareness starts expanding into these aspects of you, which you might not have had, enough awareness to view, to see in your awareness. So then this is where and how and why these ascended masters are here present, really working hand in hand with humanity. Because, they are a direct bridge. They are supporting this bridging process, and for you to have the opportunity to open yourself up to that. And of course, the ascension teachings are eternal teachings. It is not like consciousness. It's not like an awakening, a self-realization that you are that you are, God, self, within you right here. But it's an eternal process, you could say, eternal alignment, attunement going on, continuing refining so much your energies. And because these energies, they can, they're of course, as they come true to you more and more, first of all, they start to show, what is still like the dross that is still within you, within your heart, within your mind, within your chakras. The certain accumulation is the dross. So one great thing that happens when these higher energies, heavenly energies, divine energies start pouring into you, when they expose, they expose the lower energies, and there's nothing wrong with the lower energies. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them, but they expose them for you. Yeah, so as they expose them for you, you recognize that these lower energies, they simply need a form of transcendence, because now you're aware of these higher, divine, harmonious, pure energies. And so I'm sharing this in this way because, it's not that you have to wait to reach a certain level of consciousness that you can recognize some pure energies flowing through you. So wherever you are, if you can put aside, that which resists, if that can be put aside, then you're simply open. Then you're open, then you're receptive. Then there's no questions asked, and there's nothing to ask, and there's nothing to understand. But you're here to receive. You're open. Your door is open. Your cells are open. Your mind is open. Your soul is open. But ultimately, that total openness is your full consciousness. But you can practice that too here now. You can do that. You can become or practice selflessness in the now. You can do that. And that's why, we meet, not to disencourage you in saying, what, it's, you have to work through this and that, you're still there or here. No. The power is always in the now. And you have to believe in yourself, really. You really have to believe in yourself and stop subscribing to what disempowers you. That too is a big part of the Ascension teachings. Recognize that which is disempowering you and do not subscribe to it. Rather, subscribe to that, which is infinite, which is pure and harmonized in its nature. And so once we start valuing, our higher aspects, those too can descend and integrate in our humanness too. Instead of getting lost in the disempowered thoughts and the disempowered life situations and how life is so disempowering to us. You have no power there. So redirect your focus to that which gives you power. And that is what humanity needs. Redirection. Redirection to your power beyond your ego. Yeah, your power beyond your ego. And that will open so many gateways for you. But you have to know that deep down inside of you that you can do this. It is possible for everyone. So ultimately, why are we, even meeting and, coming to these online sessions, and it is here as of course, a reminder, a reminder to redirect your focus and attention to that which is boundless. Why would you give your power to something which is limiting you? Wouldn't you rather, redirect your focus towards that which is infinite, which is boundless, which is pure in its nature? Like, who would not want to do that? So wherever you are in your life, I can understand, there are many difficulties in life. We live on a planet of difficulties. It is not a heavenly earth just yet. Yes, but you can't subscribe to chaos if you want peace or love or harmony. You have to subscribe to harmony, peace, and love to get that. So the Ascension teachings are always showing us a higher perfected way of being. And that higher perfected way of being is an eternal evolution. Yes, whether in this body or in another body, in another lifetime, or even without a body, there's still evolution taking place. Yes, so that is the continuum of creation, evolution. And it is your choice to decide what you're going to do with your energy, your focus, your attention. But something that, it's so much, present is continuously seeing how, people lose their power. And, you can lose your power when you subscribe to your negative thoughts or when you subscribe to the disempowered thoughts. or when you subscribe to the emotions, when you give yourself to them, you fall into, you fall into. And when you lose yourself in that way, there is no power in you. There's no power there. So the only way is to readjust your focus to the highest planes, and to your soul, to with love and forgiveness. With love and forgiveness. That's one very beautiful practice when life becomes hard and you feel that you just can't do it, or you're in huge resistance with some energy, with something in your life. What can you do? Well, if there's nothing else that can work, practice forgiveness. And you will see how your heart will open up. You will see that for yourself. It might not be easy, of course, to forgive something which you're in great resistance with, but forgiveness can work, can really work. And even on higher levels of consciousness, you might have resistance to imperfection, or have resistance to some energies which are opposite to what you stand for example. You just can't open yourself to it. Then practice forgiveness, forgiving that energy. It's not really about the person. The person is bringing it up for you, but it's never personal. It is for you to recognize the energy that you're in resistance with, that which creates you irritation or anger or whatever it brings up for you. And then once you recognize that from your heart, you practice forgiveness. Can I forgive imperfection? And just forgive imperfection. And you will see what happens. So of course, this is the path of the heart. And through the heart, step by step, you can melt away anything that's in your way, until from your heart, you come to the heart of hearts. And your heart of hearts is this divine essence. And it is through this divine essence, that we can even today move towards the meditation. And this meditation for today is a part of the Ascension meditations, because we will be, let's say, traveling today to one of the etheric crystal temples of love, so we can receive, the imprint of that pure form of love, from the Ascended Masters, and receiving that pure radiance of love, so that it can support you into melting away any dross. And the dross is accumulated energies. And the dross is usually, around your chakras, especially the heart.